Hello and good morning. Welcome to the NuSpecian Live. I am Jillian.
And I'm Aston. Good morning, morning, morning.
It's wonderful to have you all here today. For those of you who are new to the Q&A or to NuSpecies, NuSpecies is a natural health company. We invent and manufacture right here in the USA our own line of high potency plant-based supplements and herbal medicine. All of our formulas were designed by Aston to be potent enough to help your body be resilient against the toughest of health challenges. This is what we do every day, guiding our clients to make health decisions that are right for them, because what is a good health choice for you may not be for somebody else. And that's why we host this Q&A every Saturday at 10 a.m. so that you can keep getting the answers to your questions that will help you to continue along your own unique health journey. So thank you so much for being with us here today. Those of you in the chats, I just want to let you know, if you hear us commenting or reading questions from folks that you're not seeing, it's because it's probably on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, just another platform that you're not on. So don't feel like you're being left out. But I will say the majority of the action does happen over on YouTube. But I do see I'm overlooking at Instagram. Hi, Micey. Good to have you back. Micey says, I love my new Genesis. Hey, good. I'd love to put that one up on the screen, but I can't because it's over on Instagram. So wonderful, wonderful feedback. If you want to be more specific, we will always take a bit more of a specific testimonial, but we understand if that's private. You do you. Hi, Maxine. Good morning, Diana. Hi, NRE. Morning, everybody. Hey, and morning, Aston.
Morning. And while you all are waiting for us to get started, just reach out to family members all around the world. A lot of you have been doing that. Get them to join, get them to listen in, and if they ask no questions. You know, people are getting more and more sick these days, and you know it better than anybody else because you're sending your family members and friends to us. So a lot of you have been doing it, as I said before. So let them join, let them listen in. And if they want, let them ask questions. We're here to help. We're here to ask, take all the questions you're asking us so that we can give you advice and counsel on how to live, how not to live. And especially in the coming months and maybe a year or two or more, things can get really bad, especially in healthcare. It's going to get really bad. We'll talk about it some other segment of our stream, maybe in the coming weeks, but just get your family and friends to join and listen in so that they can take care of themselves at home, not to buy NuSpecies, for them to learn how to take care of themselves at home, how to learn to manage their doctors. Like you're learning now, a lot of you to read your lab reports. A lot of you call me and read your lab reports to me now, and I love it. So your family members should be doing the same thing so they can manage their doctors, and that's how they're going to live longer and better. So it's not just about buying NuSpecies, it's about education, it's about knowledge and health, all right? Okay.
All right, so if you are on YouTube, at the very least, you can go up to your URL bar and just tap once, and you should have a option in order to copy that URL, and then you can just paste it into your family chat and let everybody know, hey, this is the company I've been talking about. Both of the owners and the founder who invented the products are live and ready to talk to you if you have any questions. Where else can you do that? All right. So feel free to start posting your questions. I do believe we have one pre-submitted question that came in throughout the week. I can pull that up. And that question was, and this might actually give an opportunity for a little bit of education. So Mr. Garwood asks, what does NuSpecies have that cleanse the blood vessels?
Okay. I'm sure you all can answer that question, which is wonderful. But yes, we have formulas so cleansing is, cleaning the body, detoxing the body, purifying the body. A part of that is also rebuilding. If you're not rebuilding the cells that are damaged, that are causing the inflammation, or the tissue that are damaged and causing the inflammation, your body, our bodies, not just yours, our bodies will just keep producing inflammation and free radicals and bad chemicals and retaining waste matter. So we have the detox system that everybody should be on if you want to do a really good purification of your body. You take our detox system. It's the detox that helps the intestinal tract, and we have detox for the lymphatic system or the lymph nodes. We have the detox for the blood. That's the first way to start if you want to really purify your body. And of course, while you're taking the detox and all NuSpecies formulas, whether you're taking the rebuilding or otherwise, you should be drinking as much water as you can, provided you don't have any heart disease or kidney disease or any fluids retention in your liver, your heart, your lung. You should be drinking at least half your body weight in ounces of water. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you should try to get in a minimum of 50 ounces of water daily. That will enable the detox to work better. That will enable our rebuilding formulas to work better, because when our bodies are fully hydrated with H2O, not juices, not lemonades, but pure H2O, the hydrogen portion of the water, which is the H, will hydrate our bodies so our liver, our kidney can purify itself, can excrete the waste matter floating around in the bloodstream. If the blood is too thick, if you have your lab reports, you look at your RDW, it stands for red blood cells distribution. If it's high, it means the blood is thick. If it's too high, it means the blood is too thick. So it's going to be much harder for the body to clean itself if your RDW is high. So get that water in so the body can be fully hydrated. And of course, the other portion of the water is oxygen. Now, the other detox system we have is the anti-inflammatory. It's a detox. It helps the body to remove inflammation from the whole body, especially those organs where we have inflammation, whether it's for men, the prostate, or with diabetes, is the pancreas, wherever there's inflammation. So the detox is, the anti-inflammatory is also a detox. And then we could add in the probiotics, right, Joe?
Yeah, I think anything, I think the important point here, and this would go for a lot of questions that folks ask, is when your body is strong and all the organs and body systems are functioning optimally, your body really should be cleansing, detoxifying, nourishing, repairing, doing all that stuff on its own. Where NuSpecies comes in, or where you're asking if you should take something to support the cleansing of your blood vessels, is because maybe the body isn't keeping up with it on its own, and maybe there's just some refining or some optimizing to be done, and then that's where NuSpecies can come in and help the body do the work it's already trying to do. None of NuSpecies formulas are going to do any of these things for your body. They're working with your body and supporting your body to do it on its own.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Myces says we need to see a large size on the anti-inflammatory. The small size finishes too fast.
So
Did I
get
hear that?
two of the small
Yeah.
size. Just get two bottles, and if you're, well, like this weekend we have a discount, right? So I'm not sure but you can get two, you can get three, you can get four. A lot of people just stock it up, but we have it in the smaller bottles because we want to keep it highly potent. Our bodies love when foods are superbly potent. And that's why we talk a lot about the NU25, which is the caveman diet. That's what we're trying to imitate, the caveman diet going back maybe 10, 20,000 years, when nutrition was so powerful before the industrial revolution that pollute the whole earth and destroy the soil, destroy the air, destroy food, destroy plants, herbs, or at least minimize their potency. So the caveman, that's why we make it in a small bottle. It's very powerful. and it nourishes the body very, very quickly, especially if you're taking an ounce a day or 2 ounces daily. It nourishes the body powerfully and quickly. And I want to say this, yes, it's 8 ounces, and if you take an ounce per day, it's going to finish in a week. But that's what you want. You want the full ounce all over your body, doing the work, rebuilding, the whole body, rebuilding the cells, rebuilding the molecules and the tissues that are damaged or that are inflamed. So yes, if it lasts a week, it's okay. Yes, if you take a teaspoon, it can last you 6 weeks. But we don't ever want you to take caveman to last that long, because your body will not get enough to rebuild itself. Once we put you in caveman, it means that the body's in trouble, right? And that's why we say you should take an ounce. So our body's like when nutrition is very, very powerful, potent, and that's why the foods we eat today, a lot of the foods we eat, we buy mostly organic foods, and I can tell you within a day or two they start to spoil. And they're not organic, even though we're paying organic prices. So the foods that we're eating, the foods are very weak. And that's one reason people are getting sick. That's one reason so many children are getting sick. That's why so many people are dying young. That's one of the reasons, people. The foods are weak, and our bodies become weak, our genes become weak, and our bodies just break and turn into disease. That is the simple equation. There's nothing more to it other than knowing all the antigens and the causes.
And then just on the logistics side, as you can imagine, I'm sorry, I'm going to keep calling you Micey because I don't actually know your real name. But as you can imagine, people do complain that our products cost too much. So the larger the size, the more one has to spend all at once. So we do like to keep the sizes as affordable as possible, knowing that if somebody really just needs it to last longer, they can buy more than one, and it would cost them the same as if we made the larger size. Also, keeping too many sizes of our products in stock just creates a bit more logistical work on the back end for us, managing labels and bottles and manufacturing and all that stuff. It takes our attention away from the primary work that we want to do, which is being here talking to you. So we try to keep our product line as efficient and streamlined as possible to meet your needs, while also keeping us freed up to take care of you. So I hope that is appreciated by you and that you understand.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I have had the discount up on the screen. We've started 15% off yesterday. If you are on our text list or our email list, you would already know this, or if you downloaded our app, we would have notified you yesterday. Just use the code SPRING15 on our website or in store. All right, let me quickly catch up. We've got June. Hi, June. Good morning, Marjorie. And then before that, I thought I saw Michael and Levon and Camilla. Good morning, and hi, Wayne. Thank you all for being here. All right, next question comes from, hi, Vad. Next question comes from Carl. Do you have any plans to have a distribution location in Canada? The cost to ship here is costing more than the cost of the items.
Canada,
Yikes.
Canada, Canada, Canada. Boy, my heart is so much in Canada. My heart is in Canada. By the way, I have a lot of family members living in Canada, just so you all know. Siblings, very close family members. Siblings and nieces and nephews. Many, probably a third of my family lives in Canada. So yes, we want to get a location up there, and even more so now than before because of what's happening in the world. But it's one of the foremost things in our minds. But it's probably going to be a while before we did explore having a location up there in Canada, and I was advised by somebody who worked in the Prime Minister's office up there that the best thing for us to do is to register NuSpecies in Canada. So we're not ready to do that just yet. It entails a lot. It entails a lot to do that.
Yeah, what's likely going to happen is, even though they're charging you the customs fees as an individual, they're probably just going to pass those fees on to us as a business. I don't know if those fees would overall be less, but I imagine it would still be a cost we have to pass along. And there's a bunch of logistics to figure out there. Gosh, we would love to be everywhere to keep this easy for everyone. We totally understand. I'm sorry, Carl.
Yeah, but in the meantime, if you have relatives here who can buy it and ship it to you, it may cost a lot less for them to ship it to you than for us, a company, to ship the products to you. Or if you know people who are coming over, hopefully people are still coming over. Please don't hate us too much. But I hope people are still coming over. You can ask them to pick up NuSpecies and drive it back for you. But especially with this so-called trade war, we don't know the implications of what's going to happen over the next few months or so. So we cannot commit in any way or form to a Canadian location. And when the time comes, we could explore distribution or wholesalers up there. But for
Mm,
now, it's what it is. And we're very sorry. We have a ton of clients up there in Canada from
mhm.
all over Canada, and we know the pain that you have to pay all this extra money to get the products there. In terms of custom fees, we know it's very
Right.
high. Yeah.
Austin or and Mary, you're in the background. Do you know if it's still the case that if we ship the package not from New Species with the return address, but like from one of our names, would that alleviate some of the customs fees?
I think we'll have to ask Matthew.
Okay,
I
because
don't know.
we
Maybe
had thought
maybe
about trying
maybe
it.
maybe Mary knows, but we could ask Matthew. We have been doing that because it gets there faster when we don't ship on the New Species Corporation.
Right. Because
What
then
we
maybe
can,
like, when Matthew brings all the packages to the post office, rather than generating the label for Canada through our system, maybe he could just, get the label made with one of our names on it, directly at the post office.
right?
We'll look into
And
that for you, Carl. Mary, if you happen to know, pop in there and you said we haven't. Okay. We'll look into that for you, Carl. The package will just come from me or Aston's name instead of New Species, which maybe could help. We'll see. Okay. Oh, okay. We haven't done enough to test it out. But clients do tell us when their family member sends it rather than New Species, it is better. So we should try that, Carl. Reach out to support@newspecies.com just to put an email in our inbox so we can continue the conversation offline, okay? All right, we're gonna get back to Darnett now. I have to drink some water. I don't know what's happening with my throat. Okay. All right. Darnett says, "Good morning, everyone. Can chemo fracture the ribs?" Aston, I'm out of the hospital.
oh yes, hi Darnett. I did call you last night. Probably was too late. And just for everyone, I only call people who really, really need me so late. So, but darn it, I did call you and I didn't get you, but I will call you today. And yes, chemo is. So let me say this for all of you who are on chemo, and if you decide to go on chemo, it is a very devastating medication and it destroys everything. When the doctors say it destroys cells, they're not speaking to cells in the area um, where the issue is. It's a whole body. It destroyed the bone marrow. It destroyed the heart. It destroyed the lung. It destroyed the brain. It destroyed everything for some people. So what I want to advise you all, if you decide to do chemo, you should get caveman. You don't have to call me and ask me what to do. You can, if you want to write it down now, or we can put it in the chat, but you can still call. You should go on caveman and the MD25 and the B vitamins and take an ounce of each for at least a month or two before you begin, any kind of radiation or chemo treatment, so that your body and your immune system are solidified against these powerful toxic chemicals. And that will help to alleviate the stress that these heavy medication can cause. So if you have family members anywhere in the world, you should do that for them. It will help them to survive better against the devastating side effects of chemo. So yes, chemo can destroy any organ. For some people, the doctors, scientists don't know why, but for some people, chemos seem to destroy certain organs over others for certain people. But the most common ones chemo destroy is bone marrow, the heart, and the bones. It's devastating. All right, so you take the and 25 or the caveman, you take an ounce at least once daily, and with the B vitamins, you take an ounce once daily. You may also want to do the NuGenesis to build up the genes and DNA as well. Take an ounce as well. So all three of those at minimum. Take an ounce of those before you get to that stage of taking these powerful medication. And that goes for any powerful medication you're going to take, not just chemo or radiation. You can just look at the side effects, so you can ask your doctor the side effects of the medication, but you need to fortify your cells, your organs, your tissue, your immune system in particular against these powerful medication. That's what I strongly recommend that you all should do.
Okay.
So yes, darn it, I'll give you a call today. Hope that helps all of you.
All right. Next question is from May. In regards to knee surgery, when the body is rebuilding, does the cartilage rebuild in the knee? Also while on NuSpecies.
So if someone has done knee replacement, I would say probably not. I don't think so, because the hardware, as they call it, that is placed in the joint will likely nullify, because the cartilage and all the other tissue in the joint, the cartilage, the synovial fluid, the tendons, all these other tissues that are in the joint. Yes, if you do knee surgery, but it's not knee replacement, and you go on the systems that we have for that, which is you need the anti-inflammatory and the MSM, you need those two. You also need the calcium and the vitamin D. At minimum, you will need an LNU depending on how bad the knee issue is. And this goes for all of you over 30. You should be rebuilding your knees. You shouldn't wait for arthritis or damage to your knees to occur, because it will happen. It happens to everybody as they get to a certain age. The knees, all those tissues in the knees start to wear out. It's like your tires wearing out, literally. And either you replace them or they go bare until it goes flat, pretty much.
Yeah,
So
like it doesn't take anything to really like tweak them or something. You're just doing your normal thing, and all of a sudden you can't walk.
Right. And even if we do the basic system once a year, twice a year, and those of you who exercise, whether you walk or you run or you do any other exercise, even if you do yoga or Pilates, you should be taking the joint system, even just the basic. And you don't have to take the full dosage. You could take a quarter of the dosage. You could take a teaspoon. And if you take a teaspoon of the calcium, for example, it's going to last you 3 months. And you can just do the package twice a year if you don't have any knee issue. But if you have knee issues, you should take the full the full system. So it would be the anti-inflammatory, the MSM, the calcium, and the vitamin D. Those are the basic, and then you can add in your NuGenesis and the LNU to do the rebuilding. So if there are knee issues or any kind of issues in the body, it means that the genes are mutated or not functioning the way they should. So you have to rebuild the genes and DNA with the NuGenesis, and then the LNU assists in rebuilding the whole body, as you all know.
Okay. Great. And we've seen the body regenerate organs, so the body's powerful. You just want to unleash that power by getting out of its way and stop impeding the immune system and blood flow with lots of processed food and lack of sleep and not drinking enough water and not managing your stress and not moving your body. All of these things impede your body from doing what it really wants to do and showing off how amazing it is. So when you want your body to rebuild something, you need to let it focus all of the energy on that and eliminate all those distractions.
I love that line. I love that line. Rebuild your body to release all that divine power from nature that are in the body. Release all the divine healing systems. Just rebuild your body to unleash it. It's in there, people.
Mm-hmm.
We're alive because it's in there. If it wasn't in there, viruses and bacteria would have killed us from we were babies. So we know that healing system is in there. That's why when we get sick, we get better, and we can get
Mm-hmm.
better. But you just got to release it. And for a lot of us, we need a whole lot of new species to release that power. And you need exercise, you need good foods, you need clean water, you need all of those. You need to be properly detoxifying, purifying the body. You need all of those people to release that divine power that's in our DNA and our genes. It's there. It's just for
Mm-hmm.
us to access it. And that's what we're trying to use NuSpecies to do for
Yeah.
everybody.
And Aspen, you and I talk about this all the time. Maybe we interpret this differently. I haven't actually like read the Bible or anything, so I'm not going to pretend I understand all these things. But when people say that like cleanliness is godliness or cleanliness brings you closer to godliness, let's just translate into like make that like a nutritional metaphor in the sense that let's say that divine power is godliness, right? The divine power of your body to fix itself. If cleanliness is godliness, then I think of the cleanliness as getting rid of all those impediments to your body functioning optimally, having your blood flowing, having your hormones balanced, having lots of nutrition for your body to use, moving your bowels, drinking lots of water, all of that stuff that we all know we should be doing. In my mind, that's like cleaning the pathways for godliness or for that divine power to flow through you and actually let you see the power of what your body can really do. That's how
So
I interpret that.
I totally agree. Let me give a testimonial now from all our clients going back over 20 years. That includes a lot of my family members, by the way, who take NuSpecies. So they would be always angry, frustrated, upset, stressed out, miserable, totally intolerable to be around. I'm talking about some clients as well. So I'm not accepting family members, clients, all of the above. Miserable. And I don't want to be around them. I still don't want to be around people like those. But you know what? It's okay, because what I find out now is that for the last how many years, maybe more than 10 years, a lot of these people, including my family members, they started taking NuSpecies. And guess what? Everything changed. Their spirit changed. Their tone changed. Their lives changed. They become more happy. They even become more spiritual and kind. And it's just unbelievable to see the transformation from people taking NuSpecies over the years, just cleaning their bodies, rebuilding their bodies. And I believe that's a spiritual purification they're going through, because I can tell you, for all those family members and friends, they have become so much, and clients, so much kinder, so much receptive, to the truth and justice and honesty, and they're just a lot more happy. So I must say it's a testimonial that I'm giving to all of you, based on my family and my friends and clients, thousands of clients, tens of thousands of clients. And now I see those clients, sometimes they walk into the stores at NuSpecies or get them on the phone. They're so happy, and it's a beautiful thing to see. I think that is spiritual. I think that's divine. I think that is divinely spiritual. And I'm going to put it another way. I believe that all these people who are like this, who have made a transformation, I think they've been reborn, and I think they're now divinely overshadowed. Whether they believe in God or not, it doesn't matter. They're still divinely overshadowed, and they just have a cleaner, nicer spirit. It's just beautiful to see these people transform. So that's a testimonial
Mm.
from me on the behalf of my family, my friends, and NuSpecians around the world.
All right, next question. Wayne, can you take the legend and be complex at the same time? Yes, you can. Absolutely. I think we could take all of our products at the same time because the LNU formulas, which is Legend was the original name. Now it's LNU9 because it already has the B complex in it. Unless there's a reason you need extra B vitamins, you don't need to, but you absolutely can. Some people really do need that extra boost.
Yeah, I have been taking the as of the last few weeks, I've been taking the caveman along with the B vitamins. I've taken them together.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing it every morning for the last several weeks. So
Yeah.
you may ask why I add the B vitamins in because, and I don't think we can do with too much B vitamins, especially the B6 and the B12 and the B9. You know, the folate, and then the B12 is the cobalamin. The B6 is a paradoxin. So a lot of you who talk about taking enzymes like glutathione, that's what those B vitamins help the genes to do. It helps the genes to produce those proteins to make glutathione. Glutathione is the most powerful enzyme in the human body for, speaking of cleansing and rebuilding, is the most powerful, it's the best, it's the most valuable enzyme in the human body. But the body has to be strong enough, the genes have to be strong enough to produce glutathione. So those of you who take, dismutase or glutathione or CoQ10 or any of these supplements, those are chemicals. You can get your body to produce CoQ10. You can get your body to produce all these enzymes like glutathione. You can get your body to do it if you're taking powerful natural B vitamins like our B vitamins. And that's why we have it. And that's why we make it so potent. And that's why we put it in the LNU1, the LNU9, and the LNU25. But you can't overdose on our formulas, including our B vitamins, because they're made from whole foods. So the body will naturally expunge any excess. So yes, if you want to get rid of a lot of these supplements you're taking, CoQ10, glutathione, there's a long list. Just take our B vitamins and maybe take it twice a day or take 1 ounce a day, and or caveman or LNU1 or LNU9, take an ounce a day, and you should be in good shape to get your body to produce these powerful enzymes.
And then this leads into June's question. If you're deficient in B6, is it better to take a B complex or just the B6? So June, this is such a great question, and we do talk about this a lot. NuSpecies really believes that we should stay as close to the way nature already provides these nutrients as possible. And so even when we are extracting the B complex from the natural food source, fruits and vegetables, and we're putting them in our products, even that is a little bit an extra degree away from the way it should naturally be consumed than we ideally like. But because a lot of people who are looking for B vitamins want to know exactly how many milligrams they're getting of each B vitamin, we find that there's a huge portion of people who really do prefer to get their B vitamins extracted from the whole source. So then to stay as close to the way nature provides B vitamins as possible, even in this less ideal form, we keep the whole complex together because that is how they actually work. They work in teams. When you start to isolate the B vitamins from each other, now you're just straight up reverse engineering the way God intended, nature intended humans to be nourished by nature. Now you're just saying, okay, if I just need more of this, if I just pick it out and put it in my body in high amounts, I'll be fine. But actually, the body, what matters is, and this is where I feel like humans always get lost, and even the most brilliant scientists, and like, I'm not even a scientist, and I just sometimes I'm like, who am I to question what they're doing? But truthfully, it doesn't make any sense. We get lost when we ignore the intended delivery system for these nutrients because our bodies have to be able to digest and assimilate these nutrients. It has to be able to use them, right? So that would be like if we wanted to put gas in our car, but we found gas in a powdered form. We can just shove the powder into our engine and be like, run, it's gas. No, gas works in the form that it comes in. That is how it's intended to be used to support combustion or whatever the heck happens in our engines. And so it's the same thing. Just because we need more B6 doesn't mean taking more B6 by itself, which is now a highly processed version of that vitamin, doesn't mean that that is actually going to increase your levels in a way that gives you the health impacts you're looking for. So, in
Mhm.
order to stay as close to the way nature intended and the way the body needs to receive these vitamins in order to actually use them, we always provide the complex as a whole. And we really, really do stand by that. And I know I've been saying this for a while, but I'm also trying to come out with a whole food version, like a super greens or, like a green powder that will give you a lot of B vitamins in the whole food form for people who actually prefer to stick with the actual food itself. The problem with
Mhm.
that is we then can't tell you exactly how much of each B vitamin you're getting because we would have to run those tests on every single batch and then recreate a label that's unique to every single batch. And it would be so unaffordable, nobody'd be able to buy it. So, in that case, people who really prefer the whole foods, we'll provide a green powder. But people who want to take the whole B vitamin complex and know exactly how many milligrams or micrograms they're getting of each B vitamin, we then extract it from the natural source, but we keep the whole complex together.
Mhm.
So, June, if your goal is to increase your B6, you need to give your body the B vitamins in the way it's intended to use them, which is as a whole complex.
And for everyone, if your body, if our bodies are not digesting vitamins, it's because there's a liver issue. And the liver issue could be related to a gene or genes that produce the proteins that make what they call the coenzymes. You can research it, you can Google it. I'm not saying Google is always right, but our liver needs to make the coenzyme for our bodies to be able to digest or metabolize any vitamin. What we do with our B complex is that it's from natural sources, so it has all the parts in it, all the proteins in it that will enable the liver to digest our B vitamins. That's why our B vitamins, we make it from whole foods, so the body can easily digest it. If you're taking chemicals that are made in labs, B6, B12, B whatever, those will not have any coenzymes for your liver to absorb, for your liver to metabolize that vitamin. So vitamin in of itself, outside of its natural source or natural environment, is a chemical, it's a compound, and it can make your body toxic. Okay? So that's why, again, we make our B complex to be whole food from whole foods, and it can be easily metabolized and assimilated into your bodies. That's the difference with our B vitamins or our vitamins complex. All right. The liver has to produce the coenzymes to enable the body to metabolize, digest, and assimilate any vitamin, including vitamin D if it's not natural. So if you take these compounds, it's the body can't use them. Just like a medication. Medication tell the body what to do. Chemicals tell the body what to do. But if you have the bio compounds in your body, then they're made from whole foods sources, then the body can use them to support our bodies.
Okay. We're gonna move over to Instagram. We've got a question from Trevor's group. I followed up to ask for more clarity, but I didn't get an answer just yet. So, what do I take
Mhm.
for iron? My iron is a bit low, and I need some for dehydration. I tried to find out if they're anemic or if they know if they're having any iron storage issues, but I don't have an answer yet. So for now, do what you can with that question.
Okay, so I'll take a minute to give you a broad answer, a brush that will hopefully cover what you're asking. So most people who come to new species who have low iron, They have low iron because they have low hemoglobin. The hemoglobin is
Oh, okay. Sorry, I have an answer. No, I'm not anemic or don't have a storage issue. Okay.
okay. So they just need to take more iron.
They need
So,
more iron.
so you
For
can take,
dehydration, are you aware of that correlation? Dehydration and low iron?
well, dehydration is related to um, oxygen, right? Having enough oxygen or hydrogen in the body, both.
Mhm.
That's where dehydration comes from. So if the body is dehydrated, then the person, you probably just need to consume more water. But if you're having an oxygen issue because of iron, then what you can do, you can take our mineral complex. Our mineral complex, you can take it twice a day. You can take a tablespoon in the morning, a tablespoon at night, or you can take an ounce morning and night. And then you have to get the fluids in. You have to get the water in. So I'm going to go back to the amount of water. If you don't have any kind of fluid retention, whether it's your liver, your heart, your kidney, your lung, or any organ, if you don't have fluid retention, you can take half your body weight in ounces of water while you're taking the mineral complex. And that will help to rebuild your molecular and cellular system to create better respiration. Respiration means cellular respiration means the cells start functioning better, especially with the intake of oxygen in the mitochondria. So you take the mineral complex twice a day. You can take a tablespoon twice a day or an ounce morning and an ounce in the evening, depending on how poorly dehydrated you are. And then get the
Okay.
water,
Um,
get the water in.
Sorry, Austin, just to follow up, my lips have been very dry and cracked, even though I've been drinking water. I didn't say it was related to iron. So those are two separate things. They said that they'll give you a call, but the low iron is a separate issue from the hydration.
So ask the question then, are you drinking enough water? Are you doing at least half your body weight in ounces of water? If you weigh 100 pounds, you should be doing a minimum of 50 ounces of water daily. Are you doing that? If you are and you're still dehydrated, then you should see us and get your labs. You can get your labs and get a urinalysis, get both and see us so we can help to identify the cause of the issue.
Okay.
So the
They said they'll call you.
dryness can be related to a lot of issues, including
Mhm.
autoimmunity. So that's why I want to see the
Right.
labs and the urinalysis.
Great. Mary said she knows who the client is and that and the person said they'd call you. So great. Glad we got in touch.
Okay.
Um, okay. Makes sense. I see your comment on Instagram. Okay. All right. I want to say hi to Ingrid or Megan. You said you're new here. I'm thinking in your comment you wrote Megan, so maybe you're just using someone else's account, but they're new here. So hi. She mentioned that she works with STI and STD, but then I think your sentence got cut off, Megan. So if you want to finish your sentence and join us in the conversation, feel free. We understand a lot of you are like trying to type on your phones, and so you'll have typos and your sentences won't be complete, and we understand. So just feel free to pop back in and say what it is you wanted to say. All right. Hi, Richard. Good morning. Good morning, Wayne. Oh, hi, Jay and Joyce. Thank you all for being here. Great. All right. I have made it through all the questions that have currently come in. So we're getting close to the end of the show. So if anybody else has some quick questions you want to pop in there, please do. In the meantime, I have something that is annoying me in the health world that I can chat about if you want to hear what's on my mind. So as you can probably all imagine, I'm on a whole lot of newsletter lists, and I try to keep up with a lot of what's coming out about, just scientific information and studies coming out about foods and nutrition and health. And so as I think a lot of you probably know, I've been talking about Dr. Will Bolsewitz for a while because he wrote this amazing book called Fiber Fueled, and he explains how the healthy bacteria in our gut, the microbiota in our gut, is actually what digests our food, but it only eats fiber. And so this is why, in order to get the nutrition out of your food, you need to be consuming food that has fiber in it. so that the bacteria can consume it and unleash all of those nutrients and those short chain fatty acids and all of these powerful components that come from our food. And so then, as I told you, humans can often get lost and go into the weeds. And so there's someone I follow who I really respect, and I think she does a wonderful job in researching what is like non-toxic and how to avoid toxins in our daily purchases. But then this person has really recently been talking about olive oil and how they have recently come across an olive oil that has the highest concentration of polyphenols, which is like a chemical you want to get out of your food, and it's super super healthy and fights cancer. But again, when we talk about, keep in mind when you see these kinds of things that like this food has the highest concentration of polyphenols, or salmon has this, or meat maybe has that, or whatever they're talking about, or like you're going to get the right amounts of nutrients in this food. You still have to remember the delivery system and how your body receives these nutrients. So, for example, olive oil has no fiber. And so consuming it in really small amounts is probably fine. Are you going to get the amazing health benefits of the polyphenols available in olive oil by consuming a whole lot of olive oil? You're probably going to tip the scales in a less healthy version because your body really does not know how to process olive oil or oil in general. Either the healthy bacteria in your gut doesn't consume oil, it consumes fiber. So, and there are tons and tons of fruits and vegetables that have fiber that also have a lot of polyphenols. So don't get lost if you notice a lot of marketing or news reports or newsletters you get from people who talk about nutrition where they're saying like this food has the highest amount of this nutrient. Now you just want to like consume that food like crazy. If you go down that rabbit hole, you're only going to become less healthy. Kale is like one of the superfoods in the world, but if you just only lived on kale, you'd actually become less healthy because you're missing a huge diversity of other nutrients you need. So try not to get lost down those rabbit holes, and remember that a huge diversity of fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and whole grains is how you're going to get all the nutrients and all the fiber that your body needs and that your microbiome needs to break down all of those foods and unleash those nutrients and all of that cancer fighting power and disease fighting power of plants. Okay. So it's easy to see this email and be like, oh, this olive oil has the highest polyphenol content. I'm going to just like buy this olive oil and I'm getting all my polyphenols. No, you're getting lost in the weeds when you do stuff like that. So just want to remind all of you, if you're following any of these kind of newsletters or whatever, try not to get lost down those. There's no one food or one thing that is the best thing for you. A huge diversity of plant-based foods is actually what's best for you. Okay. How to get that off my chest, because I've been seeing this email for a couple weeks in a row. It's just driving me crazy. This person has thousands of followers, and I'm just like, no, you're missing the point. Duh, olive oil is not saving anyone's life. Stop talking about it.
And
But okay.
those of you who are taking the LNU formula and or the New Genesis, you're getting a phenomenal amount of polyphenols, a massive amount you're getting from completely natural sources. So there you go. We actually have a lot of knowledge in our formulas. So you're in good. You all are getting results on NuSpecies because we have in there what the body needs to support itself. So you're blessed, and I hope you share your blessings with family and friends and coworkers. A lot of you do. And as I said last week, if you have to use a sledgehammer, to get them to join our Q&A or come to us to get help with their issues, you should do that.
An emotional sledgehammer, a spiritual sledgehammer.
That too, but I
Not a
can
literal sledgehammer, please.
I can tell you, I talked to maybe
People listen
30.
to you, Aston. You got to be careful what you say.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, not sledgehammer. Use use words. Words are more powerful than hammers and metals. If you use words the right way. But I speak to between 30 and 60 clients every day, except probably Sunday and Thursdays. And I must tell you, folks, it's another testimonial. Over 99% of all these clients who are taking NuSpecies are seeing results. It is so rare when I talk to someone who says NuSpecies, they're not, feeling the power of NuSpecies or seeing results from taking NuSpecies, whether it's energy or issues just getting better. Like a young lady yesterday was telling me how she just got a call from her doctor and her breast tumor was shrinking, from just helping to power her body. Her body was, shrinking her tumor. These are the results we get every day. So when you send people to us, we will do the best we can to try to help them. And yes, we're not going to help every single soul, but if a company like NuSpecies is telling you that we're seeing such incredible results from our clients, up to 99% or higher, it's if you believe in God or Jesus or spirituality or divinity, I think there's something happening there in that regard. So don't be afraid to send your friends and family to us to get help. And we're doing these discounts to enable all of you. We're doing them as frequently as we're doing them to enable all of you to be able to afford your regimens that we have you on, or your protocol, or your package, or whatever you're taking. We're doing it to try to help you as much as we can. So take advantage of the discounts that we're doing as well. We want to help you, want to do the best we can to help you and your family and your friends. So take advantage of it. And if there's any one of you who's taking NuSpecies and you're not seeing any change for the better, you need to speak with me directly. And maybe you need a different protocol. Maybe you need something different. We don't know everything. Sometimes we have to go through various protocols before we find the right one based on the issue you have or the complicated issues you have. A lot of people have complications. They don't have one issue. They have many issues. They have numerous issues. And we have to help you navigate through your labs and your images to find, the right protocol. So sometimes the first protocol may not be the right one for you, but we can always change. We have many protocols for any health issues. We have many. And we have many different potency levels, upgraded, potency. So call us or call and make an appointment to see me, or call me. And we're going to try the best we can to help as many as we can. Just want to say that to you all.
Yeah, I think the important thing is that folks have tried a lot of things and usually are. Yes, Antoinette, don't worry. I'm going to get to you before I have Antoinette, Paul, Subtoy Poggers. We'll get to those questions before we end. Don't worry. And Ricardo. Okay. Yeah, I think folks are used to trying things and maybe crossing their fingers, not really thinking it's going to work. And then when it doesn't, they're like, see, another thing didn't work, and they move on. But we promise you it's different when you come to NuSpecies. So I think it is, you're right, Aston. Like some folks think, okay, it didn't work after a month or 2 months. And okay, moving on, I'm going to go find the next thing. But actually, no, you should come talk to us because very likely there is just some tweak or misunderstanding or issue, or maybe we didn't know everything about what was going on with your body at the time, and so the package wasn't fully appropriate. So there's many ways to go about it, and you should always call and let us know. Okay, let me get to a couple of last quick questions. Can children take the B complex? Yes. So the FDA says that all people 6 years and over can use supplements. If you want to give it to a child younger than 6, that is your choice. We can't recommend it just because the FDA doesn't allow that. But as you can see below, Suzanne said that she has given it to 3-year-olds, and we have chosen to give them to our children, even from birth. And many people have, but it has to be an individual choice. We can't recommend our products for anyone under than 6.
And some of you have said to me along that line that we have a different FDA now. And the new FDA will allow even babies, 1-year-olds, to take NuSpecies. Well, we don't know, the law has changed. So we're gonna stick with the old FDA rule until we hear that the new FDA has changed rules. We're not aware the rule has changed.
Right. Yeah, that's confusing because it also might go right back. So we'd rather wait this one out. Things changing too fast is concerning. Okay. Paul is asking, do you have something to help sleep or calm? Would that be the stress pack?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Paul, we'll put the link in there for the stress pack herbs. And then I don't know why we don't have the stress pack on the website just as a package, but um, it's the St. John's wort, lobelia, chamomile, and what's the other one?
Valerian.
Valerian. Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's those four herbs together, and you'll take like a full tube of each one all at once. Um, I'm
At
assuming
bedtime.
at
At
bedtime,
bedtime. Don't take it in the
mm,
daytime. I see you have the word
unless you
sleep
sleep
and
during the
calm
day,
there. Yeah, you don't want to take it
unless they
and
work
drive
overnight.
though. But
Right, right.
don't take it and drive. Take it
Yeah.
before you go to bed, and that's the best time I think you should take it.
Yeah, the only thing I would say is obviously NuSpecies provides nutrition and plants, and they don't counteract everything. So let's say you are under an extremely stressful situation, you might need to take higher doses, or it might not be enough. You might also need to meditate, and there might be other things you need to add in. So we're just one piece of the puzzle. Sometimes we're the whole puzzle, and that's amazing. And other times you need to keep other things in mind. So if you take those herbs and don't think they're working, you might need to increase your doses or talk to us because maybe there's other factors we need to weed out. All right. Antoinette asks, what product is there for blood pressure? Oh, Instagram. Okay, sorry. Instagram ended. I always forget to warn people about that. Um, okay. What products are for blood pressure? Is this a liquid formula? I think most of the
Right.
products are liquid.
I think we can post the link for the
Blood pressure
that
starter.
yeah.
If the vitamin D is in there, that is capsules, but you could poke a hole in them and squeeze it out. So it can be liquid if you want it to be. So Antoinette will post that link. That's just the starter package, though. Depending on every single person who has blood pressure has a unique set of circumstances. We obviously are at the end of the show now, so we can't go back and forth and do a little bit of a case study on you. So you might need a higher potency package. You might need something more customized. So feel free to always call as well. We'll put the phone number. Let me get that up here now, just so you can grab the phone number and the email to make sure
Are we
we address your custom needs.
we can also pick up on this in the next Q&A. Because blood
Larry
pressure,
posted the
high blood
link.
pressure.
Yeah, so Mary posted the link. Paul for the stress pack herbs, and then Antoinette for the blood pressure. And whoever Lewis is, I'm loving you too. Lewis says, I love NuSpecies. That's amazing. I love it. Thank you. Don't be afraid to give us love, folks. We will take all the praise that you have.
We are always dehydrated. We have a lot of room for love.
This is the beginning of our workday, so you can leave us on a high, so we can really have a good rest of the day. So do not hold back on putting the love. Paul is saying thank you. So is this more of a sleep aid rather than an anxiety remedy? It can be both. It just, again, it depends on what's happening in your body. But yeah, for people with anxiety, especially anxiety causing blood pressure, the stress pack herbs are actually part of the blood pressure package for that reason. So it could be both. And if you have both going on, then you might need more. So please call and talk to us more specifically if you think there's more going on than just like a simple I need to calm down or I need to relax into sleep. Okay. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anyone. Oh, right, and Ricardo. So is the Brooklyn store open? Aston and I will actually be setting up the office tomorrow. And the new team member we hired is starting his training in Elmont next week with Ashley. And as soon as he's got enough skills under his belt, we're gonna announce the business hours for the Brooklyn store. So it is going to be opening very soon, and we're excited. All right, folks, we are at over an hour now, so we are going to wrap up unless you have any last things. Let me just quickly check Instagram. No, we're good there. All right. Gosh, this is so wonderful. Thank you all so much for this engaging conversation. it's always more inspiration. Just so you know, I take lots of notes during our show, and these are my daughter's notes that she takes in advance for me, and she messes up my whole notepad. But we take lots of notes, and we are so inspired by all the questions you ask. It helps us make sure that we are on the right path, and that we're always supporting your needs and not just going off in our world and what we think you need. So please get on our email list, our text list, or download our app, whichever one works for you. And also, you can subscribe to our channel. So before you leave today, please subscribe. Every week we see those subscribers going up, and it's very encouraging because the more subscribers we have, the more YouTube gives us perks, and the more our channel gets promoted, which means more people getting help. Oh boy. Okay, Antoinette. We're not going to be able to get to that today, but we will. Can you come back next week and we could start off with that? Also, you can submit your questions in advance on our app. So I know sometimes you don't remember what you're going to ask until toward the end of the show, and then we don't have enough time. But on our app, right on the homepage, is a section that says "Submit your question." So you at any time during the week when you remember what you want to ask, put it in there, and then we often will start the show with it until other questions start coming up. So Antoinette, if you could do that, that would be wonderful, and we'll get to that next week. So subscribe to our channel before you leave, please. Join our email list, text list, or download our app, whatever works for you. So you always know when we're having discounts. You'll find out when Brooklyn officially opens and all the other good stuff. And then you can like and share. Yeah, so you can certainly share every week. Right after the show, I post the next Q&A. So you can share that link with your family and friends and have it get it on their calendar so they can actually join and ask all of their questions, okay? All right, everyone. Thank you so much. So wonderful to talk to you all. I hope you have an amazing weekend, a wonderful week next week, and we look forward to seeing you next Saturday.
All right, bye bye. Have a great weekend. Jillian is in Bronxville today, and
I
I'm
am.
in HQ today. So those of you who want to see, need to see Jillian, she's over there in Bronxville along with Kara. And you all have a great weekend. Great to talk with you as always. Bye bye.